Peace and harmony, family. Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Octavia, and also known as Rose, of course, whichever floats your boat. I keep telling y'all that I don't care. but before we start this video, I just want to thank all of my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. It's a reason that you subscribe because you love what you see and you love the content that I'm making. So I greatly appreciate your love and support. And I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate you loving or liking my videos and sharing them if you are doing that. And just, listening to what I have to say. So I appreciate that so much. So you could be anywhere, but no, you're here listening to me run my lips. Okay. So before we begin, make sure you always like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And so, yeah, today I was thinking about a topic, but honestly, this video is it's just okay. I was having a heart to heart with my best friend earlier. Shout out to Kayla, I love you. But I was having this conversation earlier, and it just brought me to so many different things that we are all experiencing as people. And that experience is control. We're always trying to control every little thing, like everything down to the T. And after I got off this phone call, I went immediately into meditation, and I don't know, which is interesting because when I'm in my meditation, especially around my menses, I'm usually very emotional. And what I realized today is during my meditation, I was actually more so, like, that's probably the most aware I've been within myself like ever. And so that lets me know that the growth is happening here, okay? But I want to talk about control, because what I realized in my meditation, right, is we are often trying to control every aspect of our life. From we're trying to control people, we're trying to control their perspectives, we're trying to control how they feel about certain things. We're just always trying to control how we want them to think about certain situations, how we want them to think about us, how we want them to do certain things. We're just always trying to control every little thing. And then we have to oftentimes question why we are upset, why we are depressed, why we are just not feeling secure within self. And when I had that understanding of what I was actually experiencing at this time, which for the first time was ever when I really felt secure within myself, within how things in my life are going. And all of that came from when I released the feeling of trying to control everything. I stopped trying to control how people think about me. I stopped trying to control how people showed up for me, how they responded to me, how they reacted to me, how they did me in general. When I was in my meditation and I was just visualizing so much, like I was just seeing so much. And I was seeing the growth from me focusing 100% on just myself, which is the only thing that I'm able to actually control is myself. When I've seen, like, okay, this is what life is like when I'm simply just focusing on my own personal development, when I'm simply just focused on my own well-being, me being the better version of myself, me being the part of me that I keep trying to find in other people, and I keep trying to get people to be a certain type of way because I want to control them, because I have lack of control of myself. When I had that moment and I was like, ooh, tea, give me the tea, spirit. Give me the tea. Because it's the only thing that makes us this, that makes our energy just all over the place. The thing that just gets us out of alignment is always trying to control the outcome, always trying to control people, always trying to control. Always. Even as parents, we're always trying to control our children instead of understanding them, instead of teaching them how to control their own emotions, their own feelings, their own everything of what they're going through. Instead of just letting people be, allowing people to just show up in their own authentic self, we go so far from who we are here to be. When we can release that feeling of control over everything, over everybody, we then have to focus that control, that understanding of self. And when we can sit here with ourselves in meditation, because I meditate on average about 30 minutes a day. When we can sit with ourselves and realize, have that transparent, that vulnerable moment with ourselves, that's when you're most vulnerable, when you're in meditation, when you're by yourself. So when we have that moment with ourselves and we're able to see how us trying to control other people has left us being the villain in their stories, it'll leave us realizing that we have caused so much damage, and not only in our lives but in other people, by simply trying to control them. And that's where we mess up as people. We too busy trying to control what somebody thinks, say, do, act. Like we keep trying to control. But when you can sit back with yourself and realize that, okay, I didn't have no control there. I was a little, doing a little too much. Okay. When we start giving ourselves that moment of vulnerability and accountability, it makes us realize that we were doing all of those things because we lacked self-control, we lacked emotional control, we had a lot of things that we were lacking internally. So that's why I love this topic right now, because when we can sit with ourselves and do the work and have that awareness, and when you're doing the work like that, you're not necessarily trying to look at it from a point in place of judgment. Like, I think people kind of have this this thing that when they're looking at themselves, they become ashamed, they start judging themselves, they start talking to themselves in negative and nasty ways, and then we realize, we wonder why we can't get past a certain level when it comes to healing, when it comes to doing the work, because we don't allow ourselves to just sit and observe what we're actually experiencing and what we're actually doing to ourselves and the people that is around us. So for me, when I was able to, when I'm able to sit with myself in meditation and control myself and analyze and assess that feeling, this certain energy that I'm experiencing right now, I'm able to become level-headed. I'm able to ground myself it's been plenty of times, especially in this last meditation, where I just wanted to get up because I felt like I had just things to do, places to go, which I do. But I realized, you know what, I'm going to have control over these urges, over these feelings, and I'm going to sit and I'm going to observe and I'm going to analyze myself at this moment. This right here is a moment of honor, a moment where I am feeling at peace. It's a moment where I'm discovering something right now that involves my spiritual development, my personal development, that is a moment for allowing me to have control over my emotions. And you know that you have more control over your emotions when you're sitting in meditation and you feel the urge to like, oh, I got to do this so I can pay this. Oh, I got to get up and go do that because I was supposed to do that the other day. When you can control those emotions and tell yourself like, hey, okay, I know we're feeling this way, but this is a moment where we need to do a little bit of relaxing and know that things are going to pan out exactly how it needs to pan out. When we feel that crinkling feeling of anxiety, pressure, just sadness, just you just ever been somewhere just sitting and you felt that uneasy, that unsettling pressure over your shoulders. When we can sit in that and assess it, make it a priority over all of these external things, the amount of peace and centering and grounding that you will feel in that moment will top that feeling of uneasy, unsettling. It'll actually bring you to a place of balance. Like your anxiety and stuff can be up here to the roof, but because you've taken time to level, to breathe, to find balance, it's going to bring you here. And it's going to bring you to making better decisions and realizing, I know that I have these things that I need to get done, but I also need to be in a good headspace to be able to take care of this. I need to be logical. I need to be more logical than emotional at this moment, because things are not going to always be taken care of right then and there. So there's no point of me having this anxiety, this level of stress over this situation. Being centered, being at peace is what's most important. Too many people are out of balance. Too many people are in disharmony, and it's creating a lot of chaos internally. And then they're trying to figure out why they keep attracting trauma, triggers, and all these things of that nature. But it has to be a balance. It has to come to a place of balance. When we continuously keep going, we keep getting stressed, we keep having anxiety, we keep having all of these things happen, we're never going to be balanced. We're always going to, when our emotions are high, when we're out of alignment, we're always going to feel like we have to try and control everything. You do not have to always try to control everything. And listen, I'm an Aries. All we do and think about is trying to control something. So for me to be at a place, I'm telling you this because I wholeheartedly sometimes believe in those traits in certain zodiac signs. But I know me, my whole life, I've always had this kind of controlling nature because I've always been the leader in a lot of situations. People have always looked for me to be the leader in certain situations. So I always felt like I've always had to try to control something to get it to happen, to get it to work. But I had to understand it's the difference between trying to control something and also trying to delegate things as well. Being able to articulate myself in better when it comes to certain situations. It comes from finding that balance. It comes from that, and knowing, and one thing about it, when you come to that balance, that space of balance, you come at ease with a lot of the things that you were once trying to control. You realize the importance of being at ease with certain situations rather than trying to control it and be out of alignment. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So with that being said, family, always take at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day to meditate. Just simply observe your thoughts, do a full body scan, okay? Keep a journal with you so you can write things out. Drink you some water, some juice, okay? Always keep it flowing. Do you some breathing during your meditation, okay? So you can always be in the flow and you're not stagnant, because stagnicity can also create an imbalance, okay? And we don't want that. So with that being said, I really hope this video resonated. If you feel like you're trying to control everything and you're trying to figure out why nothing's working out for you, please watch this video. Please send it to somebody who you think needs to hear this. Okay? Because it's not just me making a video just because it's just coming to my mind. No, somebody is for somebody. And so yeah. With that being said, please leave a comment. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you feel. I want to know your perspectives on the topic of control, all that good thing. So with that being said, family, peace. I love you.